Picture this. Game 7 of the 2025 World Series. Dodgers versus Blue Jays. For fans, it was, just high drama.
Right. But for us, for this deep dive, it's basically a masterclass in behavioral economics.
Yeah, you give us the sources, and it turns out every pitch, every single substitution was a decision made under extreme scarcity.
Exactly. The entire game was a pure equation. How do you maximize your wins when your resources, your outs, your runs, your healthy players are so severely limited?
And when we talk about utility, we're just talking about the maximum benefit you can squeeze out of any given resource.
That's it.
Okay, so let's unpack this with that first. That gut-wrenching decision to start Bo Bichette.
Who was so clearly compromised, playing through a seriously sprained PCL in his knee.
But the Blue Jays manager, he chose to maximize the elite utility of his bat despite all the physical constraints.
And that sacrifice, that trade-off, it became apparent almost immediately, second inning.
Right. Bichette walks, moves to second, then Ernie Clemens singles. A healthy Bichette scores on that, no question.
Easily. But because of that knee, the third base coach has to hold him.
So they prioritized his hitting, but got hit with diminishing returns on the base paths.
Mm-hmm.
They gave up a potential 1-0 lead.
Yeah.
That's the immediate realized opportunity cost of playing him injured.
Precisely. It was a high-risk, high-reward strategy. The inning ends on a strikeout, so they get zero payoff from that walk.
But, and this is where it gets complicated, the Dodgers' own decision-making in the third inning actually ends up validating the Blue Jays' choice.
It does. That's where you see the cost-benefit analysis kick in for the other side.
The Dodgers have Vladdy Jr. up with a runner on third, so they intentionally walk him.
Yeah, they accepted the immediate cost putting runners on first and third because they judged that facing the injured Bichette was the lower-risk move.
On paper, it's rational. The risk of facing an injured guy is less than facing one of the best hitters in the game.
For sure.
But hold on. If Bichette doesn't hit that homer and the final score had been, say, 4-3, wouldn't that foregone 1-0 run from the second inning be the actual game-costing opportunity cost?
That's the tension. You only know the true value of your choice in hindsight.
Right.
And Bichette, with one single swing, he just maximized his utility completely. That 442-foot three-run homer.
It was a spectacular outcome. It proved that the team's initial bet on his bat, despite the risk, was the correct economic calculation for that moment.
At one moment, yeah. And that huge swing held the lead until the ninth.
And that's where the pressure really forces you to rethink what scarcity means. Top of the ninth, 4-3 lead, and you have closer Jeff Hoffman facing the nine-hitter, Miguel Rojas, on a 3-2 count.
This was the absolute peak moment of expected utility. Hoffman chose to pitch to Rojas.
And his decision was based on calculating which outcome gave him the best possible chance to win.
Because walking Rojas meant, well, it was the worst-case scenario.
You'd have to face Shohei Ohtani, the game's highest utility hitter, with the tying run already on base. The cost of that alternative was just too high.
You can't accept it. So they accepted the risk of a solo home run from their opponent's lowest utility batter to avoid that catastrophe.
And the cost was realized instantly. Rojas hits the game-tying solo home run.
A perfectly rational decision just destroyed by variance.
How painful is that? To watch a logical choice get blown up by a guy who had almost zero expected utility in that moment.
It's brutal. And it brings us to the final decisive difference, which was the ultimate scarce resource: elite pitching.
The Dodgers maximized their utility by bringing in their ace, Yamamoto, for relief.
Yeah.
Even though he had a massive pitch count the night before.
A huge high-risk cost-benefit move that paid off. Conversely, the Blue Jays tried a similar thing with their starter, Shane Bieber, in relief.
And that led to immediate diminishing returns. He gave up the game-winning home run in the 11th.
So what does this all mean? I think it means that while teams aim for this pure rational calculus, the final equation is always vulnerable to, well, the X factor.
Uncontrollable variance.
Absolutely. Think about that perfect zero-error throw Miguel Rojas made to the plate earlier in the game. Pure circumstance. You can't model that.
So the Dodgers' victory, it reflected their ability to acquire better resources. That highest payroll certainly helps. And execute those maximum utility decisions under pressure. Ultimately, you can budget perfectly, but the market, or Miguel Rojas, can always surprise you.
Yeah.
So it leaves you thinking, when you face your own high-stakes decision, what scarce resource are you willing to risk? And how are you accounting for the uncontrollable variance in your own life? We'll see you next time.
program is the Active Center. It's created by David Sappe.
Pronounced Seppi.
Pronounced Seppi.